It is finally the offseason here in our draft-only franchise on Madden NFL 24. And this is an episode I've been looking forward to for like the last 5 episodes because it was very clear very early on in this season that this team was going to be terrible. And for the first time since episode 1, we have a chance to really improve this roster. And I have put a ton of thought into this. I've listened to feedback from all throughout the season and the series so far. I've done, a lot of looking at the draft myself, and I've come up with a very detailed step-by-step plan here. On this little notebook I have, there's some doodles here on the back, but my plan is over here. I don't even know if you can see it. I don't think you can, but I didn't want to show it to you just in case you could see it. It's very detailed. I know I have plan A's, I have plan B's. I am prepared for this draft, and I'm not going to spoil the whole plan for you because where's the anticipation in that? I do want to talk to you about the beginning of my plan though, but before we do that, just because we're doing a draft only doesn't mean the entire league is as well. So here's a look at where the best free agents went here in this offseason, starting with Nick Chubb, who signed with the Carolina Panthers here. Definitely probably would have helped them beat us, as they were the one team that I was able to beat last year. Aaron Donald leaving Los Angeles to go to New York. He's played in the 2 biggest markets there are here. And the Jets were no good last year, but they definitely have high aspirations. They just need to find something at quarterback, which we will get into. I want you to pay attention to how much money the Jets spent in free agency here. Hassan Reddick is off the Eagles. As an Eagles fan, I don't love it, but as somebody who has to play the Eagles in Madden 24 twice a year, I do love it quite a lot. Charvarius Ward, another big acquisition here by the Jets. Josh Sweat to the Steelers, another loss from our division rival Eagles, but they lose Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick and fill the void with Chase Young and Nolan Smith. So, yep. There you have it. The Lions getting Byron Murphy, Eric Armstead to the Steelers. Jerome Baker, another big signing by the Jets. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, another big signing by the Jets. So the Jets went all in. The Lions got multiple moves as well. So the Jets, they have the number 2 overall pick, and they went crazy in free agency. Another thing that you'll notice here is you don't see any NFC East teams making any moves, so it looks like we're not the only team in the NFC East that's going for a draft-only challenge this season. But there you have it. The Eagles also lose Avonte Maddox. Well, I guess they could bring him back. He's still a free agent, but the Eagles lost some players. It's really the big thing that happened in free agency. So with free agency out of the way, let's start to talk about our plan. And step 1 of my perfect draft strategy plan is to maybe leak out some information. The information that I want to leak out is that Christian Sharp is going number 1 overall. The quarterback out of Auburn. Now, why would we want this to leak? Given some little tidbits to Adam Schefter, to the Ian Rappaports out there, that Christian Sharp is going at number 1 overall. That's either we're taking him, but we're also fielding some offers and are willing to trade down for a team to come up and acquire Christian Sharp. Now, inside the building, we all know that we're not big fans of Christian Sharp here. I'd probably say he's the 3rd best quarterback in this class. He is 21 years old. He's got great size at 6'5", 230 pounds. Got that cannon of an arm that these NFL scouts love to fall in love with. To me, he's just not athletic and he's not accurate enough to be the number 1 overall pick in this draft. If I'm taking a quarterback at number 1 overall, I'm saying this is the quarterback we're going into the future with. Can I confidently say that about Christian Sharp? I can't. But, so why would I leak that? If it's not the case and we have no, desire to take Christian Sharp, he's not even on our board at that pick, why would we leak it? I want you to pay attention here to the mock drafts, and I'll tell you just why. Let's take a look at mock draft 2. I'll go quickly through the entire round, and you'll notice that the name Christian Sharp will not be appearing. Now that would change in mock draft 3. He's going in pick number 13 here to the Denver Broncos. So kind of late into the year, he started to have a great season at Auburn. He started to piece together some really good SEC games, opening some eyes of these scouts. And now all of a sudden, he's a solid first-round prospect. But fast forward to mock draft 4, all of a sudden he rockets up to number 2 overall to the New York Jets. Mock draft 5, he would remain in the same spot. Now, why is this so important? Well, he's obviously a prospect that has shot up the draft boards as the draft process has gone along. Very strong end to his career at Auburn, including a bowl game victory in which he threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that's just put him in the top. You know, we've seen these quarterbacks get rocketed up draft boards late in draft processes many times over the last several seasons. Christian Sharp is just the latest iteration of that. Now, when that's happened, has had varying success. You know, you have Joe Burrows, you also have the Zach Wilsons. So it's really a crapshoot with these, you know, late rising quarterbacks. We're not in on Christian Sharp, but the Jets clearly are. Now, the Jets, as we saw, who made several moves in free agency, none of which were to get a quarterback, though. The Jets do not currently have a quarterback on their roster. No quarterbacks. They have pigeonholed themselves into taking Christian Sharp. Now, why would they be so confident they can get him? Well, you know, throughout the entirety of the draft process, we have not been linked to Christian Sharp at all, like I said, because we don't want to take him. But New York's really put themselves in a bind here because free agency's over. They already spent all their money on the defense because they knew that they were going to get a rookie contract quarterback and number 2 overall. But with reports leaking that he's not going to make it to number 2, that puts pressure on the Jets to trade up one spot. Now, step 2 of the process is to use our leaks to execute a trade here with the New York Jets. Now, I'm not trying to squeeze the Jets out of too much here, right? They did, I don't want the trade block. They did kind of back themselves into a corner, requiring themselves to get a quarterback here. As we see, no quarterbacks on their roster. They need Christian Sharp. They love Christian Sharp. I mean, the last time they took one of these late rising quarterbacks, we're not going to talk about how it finished for them, but they are fans of Christian Sharp. And with us threatening that he's not going to be there for them, all of a sudden, they need to go and ensure their player. You know, rumors that somebody might be trading up or that we're taking them. They need Christian Sharp. I don't think they're in on Lionel Pruitt. There's only one quarterback they want in this class. We're not going to ask for too much. I think we ask for a day 3 and a day 4 pick. Sorry, a day 2 and a day 3 pick. There's no day 4 in the draft. To see if they won't ensure they get their guy. And the Jets would accept our offer, using a little bit of our knowledge to get the smoke screens going and get some more value out of this draft is going to be huge for us because this is a draft that I really, really like. And so we're going to fast forward here a week so we can get the extra info on our focus players. But step 3 on the to-do list is to pick at number 2. And now, before we do that, I do want to see the 3 players and just talk a little bit more about the first round. I'm not going to spoil my strategy for the entirety of the draft, but I do want to talk about the first round because it's very important to know these first round picks. Now, first thing I want to do here is I want to take a look at the 3 players that I focus scouted. I focus scouted both of these early round interior offensive linemen that I like. Let's start here with Josh Messina, who above average, good, I'd say even good athlete, maybe even good to great, but he's definitely not an elite athlete, but he's good to great. A injury, a lead block and a run block power. He had a lot of A's to C's, and it looks like a lot of these ended up in the B range. So good to know. It was like right in the middle, right? He wasn't above expectations. He wasn't really below either. Has one D and one C, but pretty much everything else is going to be A or B. Awareness could be B or C as well, which does impact overall quite a bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tyler Nance now, who is honestly looking better. This is pretty big because I do really want to take an offensive lineman early in this class. Honestly, before the focus week, I probably would have leaned Messina. Tyler Nance, same age, similar athlete. A lot of these A to C's ended up on the A side. So he actually ends up looking better than I had hoped. He still has the D pass block finesse and C run block finesse, much like Messina, but his awareness is A instead of B to C. His pass block is A instead of, I think, B for Messina. A lead block, I think we know is A for Messina, but it's A to B for Nance. So I think I need to update my board. I think I had Messina over Nance. And, oh no. I already had Nance over Messina, but I guess before the scouting focus, I would have drafted Messina over Nance, even though I have them flip-flopped here in the rankings. That was just unintentional. Now, what are we going to do it to? We'll talk about the third guy that I got scouting focus on with Paul Campbell in a minute. But what are we going to do at number 2? There are 2 players. It's kind of been a 2-man race for our first pick since forever. One of them is Jalen Randall. We all know he's the upside pick, super talented, best player in the class, did not participate in the combine or the pro day. So we don't get any kind of guesstimate on what his speed is going to be. We just know it's great with elite acceleration. We know he's got A finesse moves, A power moves, B block shedding. An excellent pass rusher, really good run stopper as well. F injury and stamina. Talked about it before, how I have seen his injury at D though, so I think it's more borderline D to F rather than a very, very low F. Or Jordan Towns, who's old, who's unathletic, but is a dang good pass protector and a guaranteed top 5 talent in this class, and likely a superstar development tackle. Honestly, I think Jalen Randall is going to be probably superstar or X factor as well. There's a chance he's star or even normal, but it's been these 2, and I've officially made my decision that I am leaning Jalen Randall over Towns, and mainly the reason is if I'm picking at the top of the draft, I want elites, and I just feel like maybe you can convince me that Jordan Towns is elite as a pass protector, but he's just old and he doesn't have any athleticism. Randall has all the athleticism, has all the ability. We're just going to have to hit the jackpot in terms of his availability, and that's really going to determine who ends up having a better career. I'm willing to take the risk. We've invested so far in this franchise in our first draft heavily in the defense, but those other picks aren't going to look as good as they can be until we get a pass rush, and Jalen Randall is the best pass rusher in this class. So as long as the Jets don't actually go ahead and take Jalen Randall at 1, which I do think they will be taking quarterback, we take Randall. But the other reason I was willing to move to 2 is even if the Jets decide to take one of these 2 players, I am very comfortable taking the other, and we got a little bit of value. Now, we do have 2 picks in the first round, and this is the last pick I'm going to talk about before we actually enter the draft. I'll talk more about my strategy throughout the draft as we're into it, but I do want to talk about my 2 first round picks. The guys our second pick is at 12, and the guys that we've kind of been targeting in that range are Ramon Avant and Paul Campbell. If we can't get either of these 2, it was more of a trade down situation. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mock drafts once again. This time, looking more towards Ramon Avant and Paul Campbell. As we can see, ever since mock draft 3, the Saints have been zeroed in on Ramon Avant. It looks like we're just going to miss out on the chance to draft him. And while I do like Ramon Avant, he's a 23-year-old off-ball linebacker. I'm not trading up to get him, even if it is just to the Panthers, to leapfrog the Saints here. So we will not be getting Ramon Avant, sadly. I don't want to give up any additional capital. And then now let's look at the other player. Let's go back to mock draft 3 and see that Paul Campbell was about a mid-first round pick, was going to be available with our 12th overall pick. But once we go to mock draft 4, we see that Paul Campbell has fallen out of the first round entirely. He has not had a good pre-draft process. And now there's no storyline inside the game that explains why. It's not saying that he was injured or that he had character concerns. There's no actual storyline in the game. He just fell off a cliff here. So all this to say that unless the mock draft 4 and 5 and 3 or like 3 through 5 are all wrong and Ramon Avant isn't taken at 11, we're probably looking for a trade down at 12. So that's my strategy for the first round. Again, I'll talk about my strategy for the rest of the draft as we go through it, but I think I've done everything I need to. Talked about all the aspects of the draft that I need to prior to the draft. So let's go ahead and now hop into it. And now we are ready. Welcome everybody to the 2025 NFL draft here. The Jets are on the clock, even though it's been us for the last little bit here. We made the trade, tried to take advantage of the Jets' aggressive and risky team building strategy. I'm assuming they're going to be taking Christian Sharp here. We knew they were going to take him at 2 in the mock draft, but will they take him at 1 or will they surprise and maybe take Randall? I think they will take Sharp, and that is exactly what they will do. A meteoric rise through the draft process here since the end of the season, from a guy who was projected to go in the middle rounds all the way up to number 1 overall. At number 2, kind of hinted at who I want already, but I am committed to building up this defense. I just think in our first 2 drafts, the options have been better there in the early rounds, particularly here at the top. And I think Jalen Randall, even though Jordan Towns is a very safe and awesome pass protector, Jalen Randall has the chance to be just a game changer of a pass rusher. And honestly, you know, there are concerns. He's had problems with injury, problems with staying on the field throughout his time, both in high school and in college, but we're hoping that that can change in the pros. We can get a little bit lucky there, and if we do, he can be one of the better pass rushers in the league in just a few years. I truly do believe that. Hidden dev to no surprise, 84 speed, 89 acceleration, 83 strength, a little bit maybe higher than I thought. I thought it would be maybe more 81-ish. That's not too big of a difference, but 83, maybe he can move to the inside on like 3rd and long dime situations. That could be interesting. Very happy with this pick though. And now we're gonna go ahead and get to pick 12, and we'll see kind of, you're gonna see a trend of a lot of guys in the trenches through these picks. We see Darryl Burnett go next, a pass rusher I didn't love. Max Tucker goes over Jordan Towns. Christian Darrisaw and Jordan Towns is a pretty nice tackle duo for Minnesota, I must admit. Jay Pickens, again, is defensive ends and tackles right now. Another tackle, and I think here is where we'll see the first non-tackle. Yeah, we'll see Terrell Ford. Thought he's a pretty good safety in this class. Definitely draftable. He didn't end up making my board because I just didn't think he was top 10 big good. I think he's pretty good. And then Carl Greenwood, I think, is the better defensive back. He's just very injury prone. A really good lengthy man coverage corner. Carolina Panthers go back to the trenches here. And if all the mock drafts were right, Ramon Avant will be picked right ahead of us here at 12. But that's fine. Ramon Avant was probably the only person worth taking here at 12. And so we will be looking at trade down offers. Now, on my, ultimate strategy guide, what I'm looking for, if we can get like 20 in rounds 1 and 2, that's kind of the thing I'm looking for. Now, I've looked around at these offers and there's nothing even close to kind of what I'm looking for, but there is an offer that I find intriguing. It's here in Philadelphia. Now, the one I want, the first round is later, but that's actually okay. The reason I wanted like 20 and 20 was because of the second rounder. I wanted as high of a second rounder as I could get. And with the Eagles willing to give us their first next year, that pretty much I could just flip that into an early second, which should be even better. So I actually think this trade wasn't something that I was considering, but might be an even better offer now. If we do this, we're doing this to flip next year's Phillies first into this year's draft, because I really wanted to turn this pick into 2 picks in the first 2 rounds of this draft. So instead of getting like a mid first and a mid second, we're probably getting a late first and an early second, or maybe even 2 late first. We might be able to trade Phillies first next year for like pick 32. That's something that I definitely plan on trying. Let's continue on here through the draft, see who Philly traded up for. There's an edge rusher that I liked, Daquan Jackson, and they just lost a couple, so I wouldn't be surprised. They do go edge, or at least a defensive end. This guy might be like a D tackle actually, but Sharif Hale. And then Daquan Jackson does go actually next, and so he's a really good finesse rusher, but that's pretty much all he does. Riley Gowan is an athletic offensive lineman going to New York. I think that's a pretty good pick for them, although they have Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas. They should not be taking tackle in the first round. Might flip him into guard. As we go through here, just looking for any, like all these names, I don't recognize a lot of them because they weren't on my board. This is just a part of the draft that it was basically Avant and Campbell were kind of the only 2 guys that I saw as draft worthy, and then Campbell falling out of the first round here in these mock drafts, and Avant going right before us kind of made the trade down the obvious choice for me. As we see Lionel Pruitt, probably the first or second best quarterback in this class, going here to the Packers. The Packers done with Jordan Love. Ziegler, a really good pass protecting lineman. Interior offensive line for the Bills. Tackle for the Ravens. And we have one more pick before ours, and it is a tackle, Anthony Soto. We're back up here at 27. All the guys that I want in this range are still here. Paul Campbell is the number 1 player on the board. I don't know why he's slipping out of the first round after like being in the 15. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, honestly. Probably would take him in the second, which is just in a few picks. But I'd still probably take him here. He was one of our focus players, and I like what I see from him. I think he's a good player. He's a good player. Pass catcher, we really only have Odom that I trust, so getting another one would be sick. The only other guy that's probably on the short list that we could get is Darren Phillips. Tyler Nance is our best chance of getting a good offensive lineman. He's 23 years old, but he's good. Anthony Torrance is a good player. Now, the problem with Torrance is just fit, because we have Malik Vincent. He's 83 overall star going into his second year. He's locked into one position. And then I liked Weber last year at the other outside corner. And then we have Keontae Simmons in the slot. And yeah, Weber's only a 70 overall normal, but I just think he played well. So did he just lose his job? I don't know. But at the same time, we're in year 2 of a draft-only rebuild. Like, I just need to focus on getting talent. And I do think Anthony Torrance is the best player on the board right now. And for that reason, I'm actually going to take him. He was on my, best case scenario list. I just think even with the awkward fit, we're so early into this series, just draft for talent. He could play safety, maybe one of these other corners can play safety. We'll find the fit later. Let's get the talent now, get the best players in the class. And I think Anthony Torrance does fit that bill. He is hidden development. 92 speed is actually not bad. I was expecting like 90 or 91. 96 change of direction, 95 acceleration, agility and jumping both at 92 along with his speed. I just think he's a really good athlete, and he's a really good all-around player. You just put him on the field, man. I think he's going to make plays, safety, corner, wherever we end up putting him. He's a really talented player, and that's what really matters to me at this early stage. I'm not so much drafting for need yet. I mean, it definitely goes into consideration. Like, I'm not drafting... Actually, I don't know if there's... I was considering drafting an off-ball linebacker, so I don't know if there's a single position I wouldn't draft here. But now we're at pick 32 and I want to try something. I definitely want to try and see if Kansas City will just take this straight up for the Philly one next year. I imagine they will, because you have the upside of whether through injury or just regression, or the Eagles lost a couple of free agents. I think they have really good people behind them, so I don't think it's going to affect them that much. But I also drafted a replacement in the first round, so I just wonder if they think the upside of maybe Philly somehow ending up maybe borderline playoff team that ends up pick 20 or something. Are they willing to trade out of this first round? And they are. Okay. So not exactly how I saw my list going, but it is interesting. So, here we go. We have this pick now, and it was a 3-man race before. It's a 2-man race now. And I'm going to let Paul Campbell continue to slide. We're taking Tyler Nance. He is 23 years old. This is a really weird offensive line draft, man. It's people at the top, and then there's flyers you could take in the late rounds. I usually love taking offensive line between like picks 50 and 100. There's usually guys I like in that range, but there's just not this year. I think it's a bad year for that. And so we're taking Tyler Nance. Thankfully, as hidden dev. If we traded a next year first for a guy who was normal dev, that would have been the sell of the draft for sure. Like there's not a single thing that could have possibly beaten it. Maybe Philly trading up for a normal dev player and giving up their first, but there we have it. So we got 3 picks in the first is what we ended up with, and we got 3 hidden development now with round 2 pick 1. This is tough. I wanted a mid-second because I want to draft Cohen, the quarterback. I think we need to get some competition from McCoy. He was so bad for us last year. I think we can't just come back next season and say, here's the keys, the franchise is yours once again. But so after the Philly trade, I was actually planning on trading down from here to the mid-second to take Cohen, picking up more capital. But now I'm thinking we try to trade up from one of our 2 picks at the very top of the 3rd into the mid-second. We could take Campbell and Cohen. Starting to kind of like that strategy. I want to see if it's possible. I'm going to find something in the late 40s and see how easy it is to trade up from the top of the 3rd from there. 65, a 4th next, and a 5th this year is not enough for 51. Okay. This really close. I think we could just like throw in the 2 7s we have next year and maybe one of the 2 7s we have this year. It's 2 7s enough to push this over the top. 51. Dude, we're just giving away all the 7s. I don't really need a 7th this year. Let's try this. So many picks, and it is accepted. Okay, so 65, we lose a 4th next year and a lot of the depth this year, particularly in the 7th round. I don't know if we need those 7s though this year. So there you have it. And we do have right now round 2 pick 19. Is that enough is that high enough to ensure that we get Tyson Cohen? I do imagine he will be there. So now I think you can just take a flyer on Paul Campbell. He slid out of the first round. Nobody knows why. After night 1 of the draft, you're doing a bunch of research. Why did this guy fall? Why did this guy fall? And eventually, I think I'm comfortable taking this player. Please say he's hidden dev. And he is. Okay. 95 change of direction is nice. 92 speed, 88 agility. 88 agility, but 95 change of direction is kind of strange. We get ourselves a 2nd pass catcher that I think we can start to feel confident in, right? It felt like every 3rd down, it was just me trying, like looking for Odom every time. If we can get a 2nd option that you like, I think that's going to be huge. Probably means we're not going to take Darren Phillips. My plan was to take Cohen and Darren Phillips, the tight end. But I think now you just take Tyson Cohen and live with it. Now, is 219, are we going to have to trade up like 3 picks and give somebody like a future 6th or something? We might have to, but I think we'll be fine. Lindsey Whitaker going to the Jets. He's a very talented runner, but he can't catch. And he's 23 years old. That's why he wasn't on my board at running back. Probably the most talented runner in this class, though, if we're being honest. I'm already getting nervous, dude. If Tyson Cohen goes off the board, and we're probably just taking Darren Phillips. Josh Messina goes off. He's a good guard. And we're running with Randy McCoy. I don't like the thought of that, but I think we're going to be chilling here. We have 4 more teams. None of these guys are going to take quarterback, right? Running back to the Raiders. 2 more teams. Just got to make it through 2 more teams, buddy. Don't get drafted by the Dolphins right ahead of us. That would be tragic. So, played it a little bit risky there. I wanted to get more in the late 40s. Ended up getting early 50s. That's kind of what we needed to not trade too much away. And Tyson Cohen, likely going to be normal dev, so I imagine our hidden dev streak's going to end here, but all I want is competition. Let's make the seat a little bit warm for Randy McCoy. Give him competition. Give him somebody that, you know, if he's not playing well, we have a legitimate somebody we can put in behind him, and I think that's going to be Cohen. Really solid accuracies, good in the play action, solid athlete. He's going to provide a running element that we don't get with Randy McCoy. And hey, we got in development. Let's go. Right about what I thought in terms of his physical traits: 90 throw power, 86 speed, 88 acceleration. I think we're feeling good about what we see here for sure. And hidden development. So with that in mind, now let's continue this draft. After round 2, Darren Phillip goes the next pick to the San Francisco 49ers. I think he's a really good tight end. He was in my plans over Paul Campbell. We're just calling a couple of audibles here as we go along, because I made my plans. That's a really good pick by Buffalo. Kyle Hamilton's really good. How is he going this late? He was a round 1 to 2 guy. I've seen a bunch of round 2 to 3 guys go. I didn't know Paul Campbell was going to fall out of the first round when I made my plan. I thought we were just going to pass on him at 12 and take the value, but I'm definitely taking him in the second round, and he ends up being a pretty good pick for us. We'll talk about, there's 2 guys that are going to go in the third round that I think are worth consideration here. I think both will still be available with a trade down. Alex Nobles was the last pass catcher in this draft I thought was worth drafting, but we drafted 1. I'm fine with it. Tight end's going to be weak next year. That's fine. We can focus in on it next draft for sure. Try to get better there. But Stephen Weldon's still on the board. Dude, my favorite 2 receivers in the class, nobody else likes. Why? I'm not taking him. Oh, his speed went down. It's only solid, but he's a 4.33. He was good to great, so something happened with his speed. That's why he's falling. Looking at the 2 players that I actually am considering here, though, it's Justin Person and DJ McKnight. Justin Person I really like. He's 21 years old. He's a great finesse rushing interior rusher. Who's an awesome athlete. We don't know what his block shedding is. If it was B or C, I'd be more comfortable. If it ends up being D, he's only a finesse rusher, that's maybe a little bit of a problem. DJ McKnight is the only 21-year-old back that I like in this class, or is Renegade actually 21 years old? I can't remember. But good power back with speed, 234 pounds with some speed on him, 21 years old. His problem, much like Jalen Randall, is stamina and injury. Whereas we have Marcus Alford, where you lose the year, which is a pretty big deal at running back. But you get, I think, just as good of a player, maybe even better. Whereas if you want an interior rusher, it's really only Justin Person. So I think, even though I like McKnight over Alford in a vacuum, if he's there at the top of the 4th, I'll probably take McKnight. If he's not, I'm probably going to take Justin Person. But I think both are available for a trade down, because they're both more mid to late round 3 players, the early 4th. And so I'm looking to trade down. I still want to pick in this 3rd round. Trying to recoup some value. We can get a 5th. That's it. Okay. Get a high 4th. And a 3rd in 2 years. No, I think we'll just take the 5th from Arizona. That's fine. I wanted an extra 4th, but I guess it's not super bad. Again, we're at the point of the draft. I think we could just go like this. See if either of our round 3 to 4 players are there. Whoever is, we'll take. Justin Person would take priority should he still be there, and he's not. Justin Person went. Where did he go? Can I see? Is it like in the transactions? How many picks ago did he go? No, it's just our trades. No draft history. I thought 19 was safe. It was safe for us with Cohen. I wanted Justin Person badly. Might just trade down again then. What are our picks? We have 1/4. Yeah, I'd like a 4th. As much as I like McKnight, I think Alford's just as good. We only have 5 picks left. I want all 5 of these players on day 3. I'm looking to trade down again. If somebody will give me a high 4 and a high 5. A high 5 to do it, I'll do it for sure. 4 and a future 7. Goodness, oh, that's like 4. Wait, oh, that's a 4th. It's like several picks. What is this? So nobody's really playing ball now. They'll give me a 5th. Just keep trading with Philly, baby. That's what we're talking about. I mean, Philly's giving me the second bet, the best offer now twice in this. Philly and I, you know, we have a love-hate relationship. You know, they're in our division, but I'm a fan of them. So, it is what it is. Let's say that. Now we're going to take, if McKnight's still there, we'll take him here. Just because I think 21's pretty good. He did go, not surprised. But now we have Alford to Cohen to Clark to Wilcox. We have enough to take all these guys, so. I might trade up my last 2 picks to try to get up a little bit, but we're going to take Marcus Alford here. He has normal development. Is that our first normal dev? I think it was, right? I think it was. So, as usual, once you get to day 3, getting hidden devs a lot harder. But I think he's a good player. I think he's going to add, you know, the thunder to the lightning that we already have in our backfield. We got somebody with some, you know, elusive back and some catching. He's going to provide the power, which is a style that I like to run with for sure. So, I like the pick. Even with normal dev, we'll have to see what, I guess we'll have to see what the overall is to see if I really like it, but I like the look of the player, and then 92 speed with 93 acceleration is pretty good. Now, who do we take first here? I don't think we take the corner first. Take one of Cowan or Clark. Maybe Clark. It's tough because he's a nose tackle that we already have one. But he could really help us in the run game. I have a feeling all these guys are going to be gone by like the mid-5th. Maybe even Hawkins. Hawkins might last till the late 5th. Which one of these 3 will not make it to the 5th? Let's see how high they rank in all their positions in terms of availability. That one's the 3rd, so he's probably going to go pretty fast. That's also the 3rd, so he's probably going to go fast. And, yeah. So I might try to trade like the 6th and the one of the 2 early 5ths to try to get back into the 4th. See if I can't get Clark. But I'm going to go Cowan here first just because he's a mega athlete. Now, Cowan's actually a guy I forgot that I didn't show you guys in last episode. I just went through all the combines and I found somebody that looks really sick. He's 6'3", he's 21 years old. 230 pounds, and ran 4.42. Low 4.4s, probably not as fast as Arnaud, but he's gonna probably be in the 90s, 90, 91. So I think this is a good pick here. And he is as fast as Arnaud, dude. 93 speed. His acceleration's only 88, which is probably why he didn't reach the 4.3s like Arnaud, which we knew his acceleration wasn't elite, whereas Arnaud's was. My goodness. Dude, our defense is getting better, man. Offense too. We picked four offensive players, and I like them all. How hard would it be to trade again with the Jets? Yo, Jets, what's good? We kind of screwed you guys out of a couple picks. You want to maybe trade back, get a couple back? What I'm saying? A little boom, a little boom. This is not going to be enough. There's no shot. I just want to know how close it is. Is it close enough to like... What am I doing? A little sweetener gets it done? Ooh, it's kind of close where a little sweetener might get it done. So we trade it. Let's trade 2 years ago. 2 years from now, fifth. 2 fifths and a 6. And we get, I think, that other defensive tackle. They were both very high on the list. I don't mind if we don't end up getting the corner, because we already talked about it when we drafted points. Where do we play him? Normal dev, but 99 strength, dude. This guy, he's only going to be in our base 3-4. He's there to stop the run. That's all he's playing, man. He's got 99 strength with B block shed to come up and help us play the run. I think it's normal dev, but a good normal dev. Simulate now to the 5th round. I think this draft, it wasn't exactly the script. It's pretty much going. This guy's UDFA. He'll be there with, yeah, we'll risk it. Edge is another position where we already have 2 guys as well. Only 87 speed. But the reason you draft this guy is because he's 6'5" with A man, A press, A tackle. He's got a very defined skill set. Man, he's not athletic enough to play corner. Man, he's not athletic enough to play corners. 87 speed with like 82 agility. Oh, 82 agility and change of direction. And hopefully our guy's still there. End of round 5. If not, we trade it away. This is our last pick. This draft, if he's still there, and he is, went perfect, man. We just traded Darren Phillips for Paul Campbell, which I don't even think is a bad trade. I truly don't. And he said, we kind of knew that because he's kind of like Lambert. This specialty build, if you see a 5'11" pass rusher with A power moves in your UDFA class, draft him. You're getting one of the specialty builds, which has high hidden depth shots. We drafted what, 2 normals in, that was 10 players? Felt like 10 players. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit their numbers, edit their player faces, their gear, make them look all ready to go. And then I'll show you their overalls as well as the overalls of the rest of this class, but I'll see you in just a minute. Alrighty, the draft class is complete. Let's go ahead and look at it now. Just fair warning, not everybody's in their final position. I just wanted to show you what they were like as drafted. I'm going to be switching their positions after. I'll tell you what positions I'll be switching them to in the cases that I will be switching. We got started here with Jalen Randall, 78 overall. He is 80 finesse moves, 78 powered moves, 74 block shed. What you really want to see is this 80 injury, not great. 74 stamina, even worse. That's going to be rough. It's going to be an uphill battle for him in terms of his availability, but we knew that. But man, starting off with 80 finesse moves off rip is going to be nice. Wearing that number 7 for us. He will be an outside linebacker. Anthony Torrance, Here's the one guy I have no idea what his position is going to be. He could play safety, but at 79 overall, he's even better than I thought, dude. 79 man coverage. That's like one away from A. He was B for both. Like I'm about high B, dude. I knew he was one of the better players in the class, and he exceeded my expectations. He's actually the best player that we drafted here overall wise. Also 21 years old, 6'3". Was kind of iffy when I put him down on my go-to kind of notes, but I'm not iffy anymore. This is definitely a good, like 79 overall. You just take him. This is a case of if he's the best player on your board, you just take him. You know, even if the fit's not perfect. And Tyler Nance here, gonna be playing right tackle for us this year. Actually, rocking the 79, just because he's a better pass blocker actually than he is a run blocker, and we do need better pass blockers, especially a tackle this year. And so I think he'll be playing some right tackle for us. But awesome player, obviously. Paul Campbell ends up being a 75 overall, and he slipped out of the first round. I don't know why. Right into our laps. 78 short and medium route is really good. 85 catching is going to be good. 87 spec. Needs to work on some release and some deep route. We're just going to pump some deep threat upgrades into him. Here's a little fancy nugget. He has 99 kick return and 82 break tackle. That's going to be one of the best in the class. I'm going to sort and see how many running backs in the class have better break tackle than him. And it's not going to be a lot. Tyson Cohen ends up being a 69 overall. Nice. With 81 short accuracy. His medium and deep is honestly going to be pretty comparable to McCoy, though. He's going to have better short accuracy, going to have better athleticism, but McCoy hasn't beaten arm strength and more of the downfield throws, man. I do believe that. Better at throwing on the run. Under pressure might be pretty similar, too. He has 87 juke move, which is pretty nice. So, quarterback competition, man. If you're here to see it, it's going to be next episode. I'm not naming a starter. I'm not willing to. I'm willing to start either of these guys. Whoever honestly impresses me more as we get to week 1 is going to be the starter week 1. Now, somebody that will be getting carries week 1, no doubt about it, is Marcus Alford. 82 break tackle, 92 speed, 93 acceleration, 84 trucking, 79 stiff arm. He even got some juke and spin ability. You worry about like the change of direction if you want to turn to an elusive back. He's not going to catch for you. But the reason we drafted him over McKnight, 93 injury, 88 stamina. He's going to be able to stay on the field for us a lot more than him. We will be looking at DJ McKnight to see if that was a mistake, but 76 overall, don't think it's going to be a mistake. I'll just say that. Dwayne Cowan. Is he Cowan and the other guy's Cowan? We drafted 2. I think we're going to say Dwayne Cowan and Cohen for the quarterback. 93 speed, we already knew that. He's got good hit power, good tackle. He just needs to work on kind of the raw skills of being a linebacker, but he's got the raw ability there. He's one of 2 guys we drafted in this whole class that wasn't at least 70 overall, but he does have the hidden dev. The 2 guys that we drafted that weren't 70 overall are both hidden development. So he's got a chance to play. I'm not gonna say just because he's hidden dev he's playing over Lastly either. Lastly was solid. He's 70 overall. He's a better player right now. But Cowan does have the better upside with his athleticism for sure. Earl Clark, normal dev, 75 overall DT. I am gonna switch him over to right end because I believe that's the end spot that has run stopper as our scheme fit. It's gonna knock him down. I imagine his overall is going to drop a bit going to end just because he's super slow. But we were the worst run defense in the NFL last year. Need to fix it. Earl Clark can help us fix it. Jamal Wilcox, not athletic at all, but look at this guy's ability to man cover. Already with 82 man and 79 press. He's just super slow. So what do you do with that? He's got really good tackle. Maybe he plays safety, but if you put him to safety, he's not going to be in press man coverage as much, which is really his specialty. So he's a very intriguing player. Our secondary, I have no idea what to do with yet. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know for sure. And then Deontay Hawkins, he's going to be probably just a dime rusher. So what I'm thinking right now is our dime rush package is going to have Lambert and Hawkins with Randall and Owens on the inside. That's what I'm thinking our dime package is going to look like. but he's probably only going to be playing dime or in case of injury to either Randall, which could happen. So he's going to be switching out to outside linebacker. I'm going to make these position changes right now, and we'll just see what happens to their overalls. I think we want to make Randall a left outside linebacker. That's where I think he gets scheme fit with speed rusher. So let's see if that impacts his overall. He remains at a 78. Don't know with him yet. We'll see what moving Nance to tackle does for his overall here. It goes down by 2. That's still fine. Now he had 77 overall. That's like a overall threshold. Honestly, I see offensive linemen with 77 plus overall have really high superstar depth chance. And so if we end up getting a superstar, like we passed on the superstar lineman, right, to get Randall. If we end up getting one anyway, it's pretty sick. But even so, starting out at 75 overall as a tackle, he's already our best offensive lineman. Campbell staying, his position staying. And then, yeah, he's probably going to drop, I'd say, to like low 70s, maybe like 71. Be my guess as to what he'll drop to. I think right end is the scheme. He drops down all the way to 70. That's fine. He's going to upgrade faster. I just want to keep Warren Owens at DT. They're both nose tackles. One of them's going to have to not play DT, which is obviously what they're supposed to be. We're going to right outside linebacker here, which I'm pretty sure is scheme fit for power rushers. I like to get that scheme fit. It gives you a little bit of bonus there. And so there you have this draft class. I honestly think it's sick. 10 players. And I think, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them hidden dev and 8 of them 70 plus overall. And the 2 that weren't 70 plus overall have hidden dev. But we're going to have some like sick prospects not getting focus scouting. And it's going to be nuts. This is a really good class. And it was kind of, I liked the depth in the class. I thought we were going to have a good class. I thought it was really good all the way through the first 5 rounds, and that ended up being the result. I don't know if we'll have a ton of guys who are going to be like known as the best, some of the best cornerstone pieces. I don't know if we found a ton of those, but we found a ton of holes that were just plugged up, and I think that's awesome. And I still think like Randall has a chance. It just depends on if he stays on the field of being like one of those cornerstone pieces. Let's take a look at the draft now. Christian Sharp ends up being 75 overall. I will admit that I would have guessed more low 70s for him for sure. Is normal dev though. He also looks fatter than McCoy, which makes no sense. 97 throw power. What's up with them looking like that fat? He shouldn't. But accuracies are in a pretty decent spot. He's a fine quarterback prospect. I think he definitely has a chance at success. I already know Randall. So Max Tucker gets taken before Towns. He's normal dev. That's a massive L by the Rams. I honestly feel like Towns is gonna be superstar. He's 77 overall. Has a pass block. Oh my, he's such a good pass blocker, dude. Such a good pass blocker. And he is superstar development. I thought he would be. It was a tough pass, dude. Getting a superstar offensive lineman is a tough pass. I just think Randall's probably superstar X Factor as well, honestly. I really do. It's unfortunate. We got Carl Greenwood I liked. Normal development for him, but 76 overall with 94 speed. Good player too. 80 injury and 84 stamina. It was just a bad draft for stamina and injury, man. So many guys taken off my board for that. Ramon Avant, 78. Okay. 91 speed, 88, 5 tackles, 70 zone. 99 injury and 98 stamina. Goodness. Yeah, really good player. I think he would have been worth the 12th pick, even though he's 23 years old. I've seen some sick middle linebacker prospects in the first 2 years. Oh my God. We've seen some six. That's... I feel like he's generational too then, right? So we've seen a generational middle linebacker in both of our classes? That's nuts. Both went around, like, I think Arnett was projected to go 9th in that draft. Ahmad went 11th. Wow. Somebody else that we really like. Let's take a look at Lionel Pruitt, who's 73. He is hidden depth. He's also fat. What the heck is this? 94 throw power. Not as strong of an arm. A little bit more accurate. Just a little bit. I wonder where the -2 awareness, overall is coming from. Probably a little bit of throw power and a little bit of awareness. Star depth. So Cohen is at least tied. He's the worst overall, but he's at least tied for the best depth trait. Anthony Torres at 79. Picked, obviously. Couple of 76s here. John Enum, why wasn't he on? 88's not great speed, though. That's probably a good player. He probably still should have been on my board. Mostly 76 overall safety. 88 speed. Probably just looking for more of an athlete in the first round if you're taking a safety. Star dev. Receiver, the 76. I'm so bad at scouting receiver. That's the one position that just almost nobody looks good to me in. And I like have to get them to 100% and know their true talent rating, or else I'll just think they're all bad. He's 23 years old. Definitely would have won against him. Just a pure deep threat. Guess we could have used that. Wanted more of an all-around guy. He's not terrible in that either. Star dev. We're 21. Nice. Lindsey Whitaker knew he was good. He's 23 years old, can't catch. So that's why I didn't draft him, but I knew he had, 91 juke move. My goodness, my guy. Whitaker can juke some guys out. That would have been cool. Another 76 safety. So the safety class is better than I gave it credit for. Jason Truman, a zone corner here. Probably not super athletic. He's pretty athletic. Can't cover man. Solid pick there by the Browns, though, for sure. Let's just go. Oh, so I want round 3. I want the 2 players that we missed out on. Just some person I really wanted. He's 72 overall. His normal development, though. His block shedding is not that good. So that's probably D block shed. D or C. It's definitely not B. Really athletic, though, with good finesse move. Good injury and stamina, 21 years old. Even with normal dev, I would have liked this player, even though his block shed's lower than I would have hoped it would have been. I'm still sad we missed on him. Oh, I want to see Darren Phillips. So basically, the trade-off we made from my ideal list to what we ended up drafting was the following. We traded Darren Phillips and probably Justin Person for Paul Campbell. Yeah, because those are the 2 that we didn't get. I didn't get Darren Phillips, didn't get Justin Person. We missed out on a 72 normal and a 75 hidden. So he's the same overall. 87 speed. He's not a great run blocker. Stamina's not great, but his injury is. He's only star. I'd say I think I'm fine with it. Star. You could argue that Phillips plus Person is better than Campbell for sure, just because Phillips is a 75 star and Paul is 75 hidden, probably star if we're being honest. And then the last guy I want to check specifically is McKnight, the 75, and he went to the Eagles. Nice. 91 speed, 92 acceleration. 86 stiff arm. I feel like most people in Madden like trucking for power backs and juke for elusive back. I always go the opposite. I like stiff arm and spin. So he doesn't have to spin, but he has a really good stiff arm, which I would have liked. So a little bit. Oh, he's better, way better catching. He can't run a route, but he can catch, which is kind of an L. But 83 injury and 80 stamina does hurt him for sure. But he's a year younger and he's hidden now. Hopefully just star. If it's more than star, that would be an L that we traded back for sure. It would be. Oh no shot! No! When he's in the division, dude. It's with the Eagles. I'm gonna be reminded of this draft mistake twice a year for the rest of my life. Dude. Got a guy, he's 1 overall better and he has better stamina and injury, yay. Oh, dude. And we traded down to 319. The Eagles picked him. We traded the Eagles DJ McKnight. An X Factor 75 overall running back. The dude better be injured constantly. Oh, that sucks. Let's look at the best picks here. Brian Huntington at 76 overall here. It's just one of those runs. You don't know what to do with the run stoppers. You can't rush the passer. You can't cover that much. You can kind of cover. He's a good pick. He's a good pick. Oh, let's look at the best overalls in the draft. So we picked the 2 best players in the draft. There we go. Starting to feel a little bit better now. Can't believe we didn't pick DJ McKnight. I mean, I know why, right? You're like, Alford, he's a year older, but he's not going to get injured. A 4th round corner being 76 overall. What? What a flippin' pick. 80 zone. 94 speed. Why was I not on this guy? I didn't know his zone. It was probably like A to C. Oh, he's normal dev. What am I looking at? Even though he's normal dev, that's sick. That would have been our corner. That would have been our safety. That's a miss and a half. That's a miss and a half. Where'd you go? There's so many 76 overalls. This should have been our safety. Easily. This is a miss and a half for me. 75 injury sucks. He's still your safety with 80 zone. All that speed, all that size. 185 slim for safety, but... Dang it. A couple of misses. Lucky it just wasn't on my board. It should have been for sure. So a ton of 76s. My goodness. Anyone else picked late? Already talked about this guy. Already looked at this guy. Don't want to talk about that guy. Okay, pretty good run stopper here in the 3rd round. 75 overall. Now, one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to sort by break tackle to see how good a receiver was compared, like where he would rank break tackle. I do remember that. Where is break tackle? Definitely passed it. Big sack. Okay, here's all the running back stuff. It's gonna be here. Break tackle. Here we go. He's slow. That's why he wasn't on my board. But 99 break tackle out of the draft. Can't catch. Where's Jack? But oh my gosh, he's slow. He's slow, and he can't catch. He's slow. He can't catch, and none of his moves are actually above 80. He's Juke's moves only above 80 because of a coach. 99 break tackle. I'm gonna have to go find it again, aren't I? Oh, this game's so trash. Like why that happens, I don't know. 99. Brandon Gay was the second best running back. We have two guys tied for third place, are the two guys we drafted. Let's look at Brandon Gay. He was our third running back. Devs we got, the only one that was normal dev. Lovely, dude. He's got bad injury too. He's 21. He is 4 overall lower, but he's 21 and he's hidden. This guy's above star. I'm gonna flip. We picked the worst one by far. He's just star. I'd almost give Alford the edge over Gabe. I probably would. A little bit faster, not as injury prone, and you can get a star dev breakout, which are pretty easy to hit when you get them. Oh, oh, how am I simultaneously like thrilled with my draft and like pissed that I missed on so many things? Like, it was an incredible draft, but it could have been even better possibly. We trade Wilcox for the other corner, the zone corner. Better draft. We draft McKnight instead of trading down for Alford. Better draft. Or we take the 99 break tackle. We probably only got the third running back in this class. Third best running back in the class. I was never going to take the 99 break tackle guy because he was too slow, and a break tackle can mean 82 all the way to 99. Because a break tackle is what Alford had, and he had 82. I wish they would make it more obvious. Like, in this class, like 82, like we got was a B, and that was the only guy with A. Because then maybe you'd be like, oh, this is the only guy in the draft with a break tackle. But I also kind of like that it's not that easy. Like, I'm gonna get a miss. You know, I missed him. I totally missed him. He's a sick player. Kind of makes me want to see other things if there's like 99s. Let's see, like a juke move. Is there a 99 juke guy? There is. PJ Johnson, a receiver out here with 99 juke. Okay. Can't run a route to save his life. Can't hardly catch either. But MF gonna juke you out, dude. I just need to spend more time just doing this. There's probably so many prospects I miss every year. Is there like a hecka catch guy? No, Paul Campbell's the best. Let's go. Route runner? Paul Campbell's the best? Paul Campbell's the best? Dude, how did this guy just... And then the other guy I liked in the class was the best deep route runner. So you just release this hecka good? No. About the gym? Throw power god? Well, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at our division and we'll wrap this one up. I'm definitely making this episode go maybe a little bit too long here. Cowboys drafted quarterback with their first pick. Lovely. They got 2 70 pluses. And Jeffrey Russell is a hidden dev. This is the guy they picked first in the class. And he is... 2 teams in the division drafted X Factor running backs. That means Alford, the guy we drafted, is at best the 4th best running back in the class now. Drafted an off-ball linebacker too, and Nelson Goldberry, another guy who's... Oh, we were never taking running back in the first round, though. That wasn't a miss. We were never taking running back that early. We have 2 X Factor running backs in the division. Just got drafted. Let's look at Sharif Hale, who the Eagles traded up. So they traded up once. Once was kind of a bust. The first one, right? I mean, 76 finesse. I mean, it was with okay athleticism, not terrible. Has a chance to get that dev up, of course. They go another DT. Oh my goodness. The Eagles and draft and stud DTs, man. Whoa, what is up with these dudes? I guess we don't know if Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are studs yet. As an Eagles fan, I'm hopeful. Oh, what am I? No, I'm not looking at this guy ever again. Get out of here. I should change his number from 18, it feels like. And then the Giants, what did they do? They got 4 70 pluses. Riley Gowan I liked, I do remember that. Hidden dev. I think he was the most athletic, if I remember right. Yeah, good athlete. Injury and stamina in a not great spot. If he's superstar, then chill. If he's star, he's already good, but he is star. But if he's superstar, he's amazing. He's star. Two of our division rivals have drafted X Factors. I like Steven Purnell. Man, the Giants had both of these guys were on our board. Just didn't like Steven Purnell. Thought he was a power rush only, which is why he didn't make my short list. Another offensive lineman here. Another hidden dev. Pass protector. Our division did good. Our division did good in this draft. So far, only star, though. I swear. Wait, is this the 99 break tackle guy? Everybody in our division... How did I not notice this earlier? Everybody in our division drafted a running back, and I was the worst at doing it. I was the worst. This guy's superstar, guaranteed. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. This guy's superstar, guaranteed, or X Factor. There's no way this guy's star. Not a chance. Two X Factors and a superstar running back were drafted in the division, dude. That is insane. That's insane. And I drafted the highest overall. Yay, lucky me. I got the normal dev highest overall guy. Dude, that is crazy. But that is also the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the draft. This is a sick draft class. If you're on Xbox, Fiend Season 2 is this draft class. Of course, our first draft class with the Jamal Arnott and company is Fiend Season 1. Have to be on next-gen Xbox, or I guess current gen is what we're calling it now, because it's been out so long. Have to be on Xbox Series X or S, but you can have these draft classes. You can have the foreknowledge to pick the 99 break tackle guy, or DJ McKnight in the 3rd round, or that sick corner and convert him to a safety. You can do all the things I didn't do to make this maybe the best draft class ever, because it's a sick draft class. So that's all I've got for this episode, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because that was a really, really, really fun draft for me. And it's hopefully going to turn into some success in Season 2. We'll be starting Season 2 here shortly, and I will see you then.